Hey y'all, I know it's been a while since I've been on, but I had a lot going on. Excuse me a minute. But tonight we're having Bible study. Our church meets on Thursday nights at our pastor's house. My goodness, can't even talk today. So I thought I would make a cake to take over there for dessert. I needed to do something I know for YouTube and need to get back at it. So I thought I'd bring you along as I made the cake. I am going to make a hummingbird cake. Now I've probably only made this about, my goodness, 3 or 4 times in my life. But it's a cake I really love. There's just a lot that goes into it. And so I want to bring you along while I make it. And you can watch me. So I'm going to move the camera. Let me see if I can get over there. Oh, it's where I will be working and you can see. All right. Is that looking down to the mixer? Good. Good. I went ahead to save time and just brought up all of my ingredients and measured them all out. We'll have a little piece of something in there, banana or pineapple. I need to take that out. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in, make sure this is locked down good. We're going to put in 3 cups of flour, and I'm using self-rising flour. That way you don't have to add the salt, baking soda, baking powder, or any of that. Next, I am going to add into it 2 cups of sugar. I'm going to put this on low. And that does not seem like it is setting right. Or sitting right. There we go. I have it now. Add 2 cups of sugar. Turn this around so you can see. Then to that, I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. Or I'm sorry, only 1 teaspoon. Say that, that's a 1/2 teaspoon measure, so 2 of those. Now, if you have never used the Saigon cinnamon, and I know some of you may not be able to afford it, and that's okay. It is really a good cinnamon. It has really good, powerful flavor. I buy the big bottle of it from Sam's, and then I just keep refilling this small one. All right, the next thing we're going to do is add 3 large eggs that have been lightly beaten. And with that, we're going to add, oh, where'd it go to? Oh, 1.5 cups of oil. Now we'll mix that well. Actually, we're only going to mix it until the dry ingredients are moistened. Okay, that looks good. To that, we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay. Cupful's about 1 teaspoon. I think I put teaspoons, but that's okay. All it's going to do is make the flavor more intense. And I love the taste of vanilla. To that, we're going to add, now the recipe calls for an 8-ounce can of crushed pineapple in the juice. I did not find an 8-ounce, so I bought the 16-ounce and just used half of it. And I will save the other pineapple for something else. Let me get a spatula to get the rest of that out. All right, next we are going to add 2 cups of chopped bananas, and that's going to be about 3 or 4 bananas, depending just about the size of them. And you want about a medium ripe, or ripe. You want them ripe, but you do not want them overly ripe, because when your bananas are overly ripe, they're breaking down, and the sugars are breaking down, and whatever you put them in, it will start breaking it down to where it won't hold as firm. It actually will start to liquefy. Okay, get that little bit of thing in there. A little piece of pineapple. So have any of you had hot weather where you live? My children came down some 2 weeks ago, some about a week and a half ago, and some even longer than that, and all of a sudden the weather turned really hot. Now, next I added 1 cup of chopped pecans. You could substitute walnuts. I know that they are cheaper. I love the flavor of pecans. But anyway, our weather, it was like that. And then over, I guess, starting Sunday, it turned cool for a couple of days, but now it's starting to warm up again. All right, I'm going to pause you and come back in a moment so I don't have to move the camera all around like I did a while ago, because I know that would make me dizzy and I did not think about it, so I apologize. All right, you need to grease and flour your pans. I'm going to use 2 9-inch round pans. The original recipe calls for 3, and I have used 3 before. Your layers will be thinner. Of course, you do not cook them as long, but today I'm only going to use 2 because actually that's all I have right now. I had a 3rd one, but I guess something happened to it. I cannot find it. Now I sprayed mine instead of greasing and flouring. I sprayed mine with Baker's Joy. I get that at Aldi. I think they even have their own brand, so they may have been out of their brand when I bought that one, and that's why I bought the original brand. All right. So I like for my layers to be even. So instead of just kind of guessing, I will dip with the cup. Of course, you know you're still not going to, and I'm sorry you cannot see a thing I'm doing. And I do one at a time. And it's probably still not going to be perfectly, but it will be close. I think the older I become, the heavier cake batter gets. I think I have some rolling off my fingers into the floor, so I'll make sure I need to clean that up. Let me get a little closer. I am a very messy cook, but that's okay. I clean up my messes. I told you before, when I start to do something, I like to start to cook, I like to fill up a pan of dishwater to put my things in as I go. Now those I do not step over there and put them in. I do have the dishwater made up. Okay. Now, dip some of this out. Right. Carry all this over to the sink at once. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cake pans and I'm going to just pop them like that for a little bit, where I put them in the oven. And then when I put them in the oven, I'm going to start them at about 25 to 30 minutes, and then I will check them every so often. So I will bring you back when it's done. All right, I've taken the cake out of the oven. It took me about 37 minutes to cook it at 350. And of course, I did the a toothpick test where you stick it in. If it comes out clean, it's ready. So now I'm going to turn you around and show you the cake. Okay, we will let it cool for about 10 minutes. Then I will take it out of the pans and then pull it on the cooling racks and let it cool completely. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. All right, while the cakes are cooling, we will go ahead and get started on the frosting. What we're going to do, and you may double this recipe if you like a lot of frosting, but I'm not going to do that. Now, when my husband was living, I would have probably doubled it because he loved icing and frosting. Or I would at least make one and a half. 1/2 is what I was trying to say, but it just didn't come out right. All right, let me go ahead and get this in here. So we're going to take an 8-ounce package of cream cheese softened. I do not know why I cannot speak today worth anything. Let me get this down here where you can see. So 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese softened. You get that in there. Scrape this out. We don't want to leave it behind. It's not like the butter wrappers. You can't really save it. Well, you know, I guess you could if you maybe wanted to put it on a bagel or something. Next, we take 1 stick of butter. Now, I use real butter. You could use margarine, but I prefer real butter. Scrape it, and I'll fold this over and save it for greasing pans or something of that nature. Let me scrape that. All right, now we're going to cream these together. And we're going to use about a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, good. That looks good. Now I'm going to get my sifter, and I should have done it while I was putting it in the bowl, but I didn't. And we're going to sift some powdered sugar. And we're going to need 4 cups. I'll have that upside down. it looked a little bit lumpy, so I want to make sure to get out all of the lumps. I think I'll take that off to make this just a little bit easier. Oh my goodness, it doesn't want to come off today. There we go. Now 4 cups of powdered sugar is about a pound. So you can just get a 1 pound box. I had like a 2 pound bag, so here we go. I hate biting into frosting and, you know, that I've made or someone else has made, and I look in there or I bite into it and there's a big clump of powdered sugar. Whereas the powdered sugar tastes good, you just don't want a big clump of it. I'm going to push this through the rest of the way. The sifter is not getting it. All right. Now let's put the bowl back on. My other one had a, erased up and down, but this is supposed to be a better one, more of a chef-like one. So, I mean, not the other one didn't raise up and down. The head would flip up or flip down. Okay, now we're going to mix that together. A piece of cream cheese, let's say. I'm going to take these over here. Now, the recipe that I've seen, the original one that came from Southern Living, I did not see any milk in it, but I like to put just a little bit of milk. Help make it just a little bit thinner, and then it will harden up as the butter hardens. Knock some of that powdered sugar down off of the beater. Still some sticking up there. All right, so we have that step done. If you can see what that looks like. So that's about the consistency. If it gets too thick on you, you can always just use a little bit more milk to make it, thin it out a little. All right, I'll bring you back when I'm ready to frost. Oops, I forgot to turn it off. All right, now we're getting ready to frost the cake. So let's go ahead and do that. And I will let you know I am not the best person when it comes to frosting cakes, making them look pretty, or anything like that. So much farther back, I need to tilt this. There we go. All right. So if you have any tips or tricks you can share with me, I will be glad to take them. Now on this first layer, we want about half of our frosting, or if you want to go thinner, and like I said, you may want yours thicker, so you may want to make more. And actually I said half, but not really, because we're not going to do the sides until we have it all done. I'm just not an artistic person at all. So, like I said, I can make it taste good, but as far as making it look pretty, I usually don't do that. My husband was really good about making it look pretty. Many times, like the kids wanted a certain birthday cake, or they saw a picture in a magazine. That was before the internet days, and I could make the cake, and I can maybe do some of the decorating, but he would usually have to do it or help me figure out how to do it. We would work as a team and do it together, and that's what marriage is all about. Marriage is teamwork. It's not just one person being a lone ranger. One person in the marriage should not act like that, and then another person in the marriage should not expect their spouse to be the lone ranger and handle everything. It all's teamwork. Even in a family, it's all teamwork. Everyone needs to be pitching in and doing their part. If we don't teach our children how to do some things when they're young, they won't know how when they're older. And I will say that my children actually were not in the kitchen with me very much. And before we bought our home, we lived in a house that more than a couple of people were in the kitchen. The floor was so bad you might fall through to the basement. And then when we bought our home, well, there was so much work to do on this property. And my husband, with his health issues, he had to have help. And so I usually stay in and do all the cooking, and he would have the children outside with him. Okay, next we're going to put the next layer on. This cake still seems just a little bit warm, but I'll probably stick it in the fridge when I get done until I'm ready to go, at least for 30 minutes or so. Now, we are going to start. Well, that actually went better than normal. Usually I'm tearing the cake up all over the place. Maybe could have put more in the middle, but I just didn't want to get too much, and then my layers would be sliding all over the place. I do not really make layer cakes. This is about the only one I'm making a layer. I'm trying to think of any other ones, but I cannot think of any now. As I get older, my brain does not function the way it once did. Are any of you out there getting older like me and your brains do not function like they once did? Okay. And this is a very rich frosting. So like I said, you could go thick with it, but if you have a sweet, I mean, if you don't like things overly sweet or rich, then you definitely wouldn't want to do that. Now, when we get finished here, we're going to put pecans on it. That gives it such a good flavor. I have some in my family that do not like nuts, and I just don't understand that. Oh, see there, I got a little bit of cake in it that time. I mean, I just can't, and I may have to make up a little bit more frosting, but actually I do not know if I have any more cream cheese to do so. May just have to make it do. A lot of times we have to make do, don't we? It's what we have. There used to be an old saying, I think it started during World War II. It was, and I don't know if I'm getting it right, but it was make do, wear it out, and save up. You know, and a lot of people don't just save up much anymore either. They want something, they want it now, and they'll pay no matter what the interest rate is to get it. And of course, I know it's hard to save up for a house or a vehicle, but I'm thinking of just little bitty things. Some people will max out credit cards just on, say, towels and food, and if you have the money to do that, that's fine, but oh, like I said, it's probably not going to be real pretty, but maybe all of the pecans will hide all of my mistakes. Let's want to slide that way. Well, at least I didn't need an extra milk, I think, because my house is kind of warm in here in the kitchen after the cake and everything. And my house, I do not have central air, I only have window units. So back over here, it's kind of warm. So it may be, once it gets, the frosting gets colder, it might be do a little better. I'm gonna scrape every last drop out here, though. And I think it's gonna be fine. Like I said, unless somebody has an overly sweet tooth or likes lots and lots of frosting, it's fine. I think it's like, I have trouble ever even telling how it's even when I put the frosting on. Oh, I have a daughter who she is really good at making cakes. She needs to actually do it for a living. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in the fridge, let it get a little bit colder, and then I will stick my pecans on it. So I will bring you back after I get the pecans and it's finished. All right, I kind of went over the frosting some after I took it out of the fridge and let it kind of get cold to set that butter and cream cheese, and so it looks a lot better now that I was able to go over it. It's a good layer on there. Like I said, if you like it thick, you can always certainly use more. Now, I've seen this done with, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this paper out, if I can get it out. There's plenty of more on there, too. If I see a little weak spot, or thin spot, I should say. I don't know why I said weak, that I can scrape off and put on there. I have seen this covered in pecans, and I have seen it with just pecans on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and my table's clean, I wiped it off and then used disinfectant wipes. So I'm just going to start here in the center and just kind of fan it out some. Not sure exactly, like I said, I can't make it look pretty, but I can make it taste good. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put these on. I will bring you back when I'm done, okay? All right, I'm finished, so I'm going to bring the camera down to show you. I decided to put just the whole pecans on top, and then to crumb some and put them around the sides. I got these at Walmart, these pecans, and I had to pick through them to get the halves because quite a few of them were broken up. So this is the top, and then the sides. Can you see that? I couldn't get on there real precise, but got it on there. So, must be a pecan under there. I want to sit back down. Oh well, there we go. All right, so I love this cake taker. It's a vintage Stanley. Do any of you remember the Stanley home products? So let me show you here. That's really cool. I had a Tupperware one, but the top part's missing, so I don't know what happened to it. It's been missing for years, so I don't know, maybe one of my children one day took it outside and decided to make cakes or pies or something, who knows. Lots of times I would find things outside where they would take them outside, but at least they had fun playing. Probably in the moment, though, I wasn't that happy. Now, as I'm older, can look back, I can appreciate it. Well, y'all have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful 4th of July. Hopefully, I will get this posted before then. Here lately, the internet's been acting a little slow. It's the tower that it pings off of. I had internet that was just completely was going out all the time, and that had nothing to do with the tower. But I even see other people on our county page saying how they're having problems because of it tinging off of the certain tower that pings off. All right, well, y'all have a wonderful day. I'm going to go fix myself up a little bit and then head to Bible study. I'm not going to do much, probably just take the bandana off and brush my hair and maybe put in a ponytail and maybe change shirts. All right, well, y'all have a wonderful day and have a safe and happy 4th of July. And let's remember all of the patriots that started this country, the ones who lost their fortunes. Some of them even lost their lives in the process of making this great country. And that's our responsibility now as Americans to do everything to ensure that our country will remain free. All right, y'all have a wonderful day. And always remember to season your cooking for love. Cook for those who you love and do it out of love. Bye-bye.